Hello trainers, Ganeto here and welcome to another video. As today we're gonna dive early into Premier Classic of Ultra League, and this is gonna be an exciting and fun meta to return into Go Battle League, so I'm pretty excited as well, and I can't wait to show you my top 5 team recommendations. So without any further ado trainers, let's start off with the first team showcase. Trainers, we're gonna start off with a team that is pretty easy for any trainer to build out there, with Swampert up on the lead, followed up by Charizard and Gengar. So Gengar is gonna be the safest of the team. You do not need Focus Blast or anything else, just go with Shadow Ball, Shadow Punch and Shadow Claw. And if you want to have something else, something of diversity on your moveset, just replace Shadow Ball with your Sludge Bomb and you're gonna be just fine. At the back we also have as a closer the Charizard, which is gonna add up to be one of the best Pokemon in the entire Premier Classic of Ultra League, especially with Dragon Breath, because it can pressure down even its counters, which are gonna be mainly the Swampert and the Walrein. So even with Dragon Breath you're gonna have a very nice time overall in the current meta of Ultra League Premier Classic. Swampert up on the lead can surprise the opponent with a potential Sludge Wave or the Earthquake, so keep that in mind while you're gonna always spam that Hydro Cannon with success. And I prefer a Shadow Swampert for this team because the backline can really handle a lot of threats, and Shadow Swampert, especially with the Earthquake, can finish off a lot of unsuspected opponents. Core breaker of the team, none other than Walrein. This Pokemon can work individually very well against Swampert, against Charizard and Gengar, but overall it cannot take all those hits from the heavy hitting moves, not the Earthquake, not the Sludge Wave, not the Blast Burn, and definitely not that Shadow Ball. So you're gonna be on a very good spot when you're facing a Walrein overall. Despite the fact being a core breaker, eventually you are gonna be able to finish it down with a little bit of synergy. Moving on, we have a team with Dragonite up on front, followed up by Feraligatr and Venusaur. So let's start off with Feraligatr because it's gonna be one of my favorite Pokemon to use on the Ultra League, and basically it was one of the first that I have already built up before even Go Battle League emerged in our screens. So we're gonna have Feraligatr here with Ice Fang because this Pokemon is super fun. It can charge up to its moves fairly fast with Ice Fang, getting a pressure down the opponent with its fast attacks, and of course you have access to Crunch for any other neutral threat, especially that Trevenant. So it is always nice to have a water type that can finish off and farm down a whole Trevenant if that is possible, and of course a water type that can go pretty well in total against those grass types. So yeah, Feraligatr is gonna be one of the best safe switches on the entire meta right now, and I really encourage you to do so and use it in battle. As a closer, I decided to have the Venusaur because it applies so much pressure with its charge attacks, and this Pokemon can take even the hits because it is a beast in Ultra League. I really am impressed by how well it can go even against its counters, against steel types, against poison types. This Pokemon is absolutely amazing, and also against the Gallade you can still take those confusion damages, and you're gonna just answer back with some heavy hitting Frenzy Plants. Dragonite is gonna lead the team. I prefer it on its Shadow form. Dragonite is an amazing leader, especially with Dragon Breath, but I decided to use Dragon Tail, as you can see here, and with a new superpower you are not even afraid of those steel types like Empoleon, like Magnezone, which are gonna be pretty much everywhere in the meta. As a core breaker, I decided to add here a Mach because it is a really struggling Pokemon, especially against the backline, because Thunder Punch can really help against that Feraligatr. The poison typing is helping against the grass moves from that Venusaur, and of course up in front it's kind of an even matchup because the Cantonian Mach is also gonna be kinda bulky for this meta. Following up trainers, we got a Gallade up in front with Magnezone and Repeno at the back. This team is extremely strong against anything. It is kinda an ABB team against the ground types, but still you're gonna have the most optimal time out there on Ultra League Premier Classic, especially with your Gallade up up in front. That confusion damage can help a lot against the other fighters, and of course that poison typing that can exist anywhere in the meta, and of course that close combat can be used not only for those neutral matchups but to the flyers as well. A whole Dragonite, a whole Charizard can be severely hurt by your close combat because it does so much damage, and I believe that Gallade is gonna be one of the best Pokemon overall to use in the current meta. Magnezone at the back, well, I really like this Pokemon. It is kinda glassy as well, but can resist a lot of things with its steel typing, and of course it's gonna provide so much damage with double wild charge, or just go with the flash cannon. I am using here mirror shot, but I believe that flash cannon can prove to be one of the best options overall. Safe switch of the team, Drapion. You already know how cool this Pokemon is from the Great League. Not gonna say anything else, just the best safe switch overall in the entire Go Battle League. And core breaker of the team, Gliscor, because it can work pretty well against the fighter up in front, against the backline with its ground typing, and yeah, overall Gliscor a pretty cool core breaker, but still you can go ahead and use Aqua Tail on your Drapion and still manage with that threat. Next up, we got a Sneasler team. So Sneasler is a Pokemon that can resist a lot of things in the meta, especially the grass typing, and you're not gonna regret your time using this Pokemon since it can go pretty hard against anything in the meta. PvPoke suggests that you can use X-Scissor, but I prefer Aerial Ace because it might be a bad move but gives you coverage against certain threats like that Trevenant matchup, like other fighters, and of course against Golisopod, which is gonna be the core breaker by the way of this team. We're gonna get there, but first let me tell you one more thing about Sneasler. This Pokemon is a glass cannon, and with close combat it just makes it up for its defense. You don't care about its defense at all, just go with the close combat, debuff yourself twice, and then either stay in feint or just switch out to your safe switch, which is gonna be the Lapras. And Lapras over Walrein for this cap is absolutely amazing. I really like Lapras over Walrein because it has access to the Skull Bass, and to be honest, with the recent kinda nerf to the Icicle Spear, I think you're gonna be just fine with Lapras right now, especially with the Surf damage for the entire meta, and because fire types are gonna be around, Surf can help you much more than the ice moves. Also, you have access to Skull Bass, which is just gonna cover anything in the entire meta, and in return it will raise up your defense. As the closer, yeah, Trevenant, this Pokemon, even against its counters, can provide so much damage. You already know that though from the Great League formats, even against a flying Pokemon or a fire, or even a mix of both like a Charizard, a pure Shadow Ball can destroy this Pokemon down. Core breaker of the team, here it is, Golisopod. We said about that Sneasler matchup, but if you have access to RLS, you can still beat it down. As a closer, the Trevenant can still have a chance to finish off the Golisopod, and of course it's gonna be kind of a bad matchup for my Lapras over here, but still you have Skull Bass, which is just gonna do so much damage to a glassy Pokemon like Golisopod. Final team recommendation, trainers, with the best team ever. So I really am excited to use this team on the Ultra League Premier Classic format because I think that Como is one of the best Pokemons to use in total, even better than Dragonite because it has access to that close combat. I know that Dragonite now has access to this superpower, but Como is much more fun, and trust me on that, you are not gonna regret it. So close combat is just gonna do so much more damage, and you're gonna take the stab damage as well. While at the back we're gonna have Crobat and Walrein. Those two Pokemon add up to be a very nice duo for coverage against the entire meta because they cover anything that your opponent might throw at you, and also you have that coverage on their typings that work really well with each other. For example, the fighting type that Walrein is afraid of, Crobat can really cover this, and the rock types actually might be kinda problematic for you, but Como can really cover that weakness as well, something like a Crustle for example, and you're gonna be in a very good spot. This team really relies on its synergy to success. The core breaker though, it is gonna be that Slowbro. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Slowbros in the meta, but I don't know, you might see, you might know, I don't know. This Pokemon can work really well individually against any of those threats, and in the end it might wall you down a lot, but other than that I think that you're not gonna have any other weakness at all. So that's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. I hope you had a nice time watching the video, and just be sure to leave a like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers. Toof, toof, toof.